LeBron loving it. His beloved Buckeyes lead at 21-7 at the end of the first half.
That moment right there, is that the weight of the world getting lifted off of that guy's kind of back and shoulders that have been looming over top of him?
I thought Chip Kelly was in his bag tonight.
Ohio State, NIL should stand for not in our league.
Let's give the flowers where they are due. And they are due in Columbus, Ohio. Congratulations to the Ohio State Buckeye fan base, football program, coaching staff, and players.
No one's going to say Michigan-Ohio State doesn't mean anything. Of course it does. But if you can lose that game and then win 4, you know what's cooler than gold pants? A gold trophy. And they just won one.
All those players sat in the locker room and they sat there and they thought to themselves, we can achieve something great. Why don't we come back and go win a national championship? And they were able to do it.
I kept thinking, all right, Ohio State, just maybe another field goal so I can go to bed. And then all of a sudden, here comes Notre Dame. And then here comes Notre Dame. And then all of a sudden, I'm going, what's the point spread? 8.5. Oh, my goodness. Now I'm watching.
It's their first national championship since they won the first one, didn't they? Yeah, they won the first one, the 14 playoff in 2014. And so history repeated itself. They won the inaugural this one.
I don't think we could play this thing, guys, 10, 15, 20 years in the future, even with the new format, even with an expanded college football playoff, and ever see someone, a team, a person, period, go through the highest of highs, lowest of lows over the span not of years, but of a few weeks.
They went back to the sideline. The Ohio State defense, their coach gave them an earful, that defensive line specifically, Sam, and then they stepped up throughout the rest of the game, mainly the rest of the first half. When you look at the first 13 plays that he scripted in the game, every single one of their playmakers had a touch in the first 13 plays.
That's what impressed me most about Ohio State is they had a bunch of guys that could have left, right? The portal allows you to stay, and they're going to be well rewarded. They're going to be drafted high.
Teams that have had success against Notre Dame this year, Matty, you had said it, have done one thing really well.
Run the football.
Run the ball.
Yes, sir.
And Ohio State did that in spades today.
For me, once the guy got 14-17, I remember calling myself like it's over.
Not many words you can say when you got a group like that that's hurting. Just told them I love them, and I'm so proud to be a part of this season with them.
The talk about Ryan Day and Ohio State now will be, okay, what does the future hold? Now he's won one. Now how many more can he win? Maybe he'll never win another one. Maybe he'll win 4. I'm just telling you, I think the dude's the same dude he's been for a long time.
Instant reaction. Favorites, big favorites, generally in these national championship games, roll. And after a great opening drive by Notre Dame, they could never duplicate it.
Look at them, how they're just moving the ball down the field with little to no resistance.
Willingly.
I can't even put it into words. It's the best feeling I've ever felt in my life.
I don't know that they'll go down as an all-time great team simply because of that loss to Michigan.
Sure.
But it was an all-time great talent, and it's one of the all-time great accomplishments to come back from devastation like that and win the national championship.
It's a factory up there. They're rolling. It looks like Ryan Day and Chip Kelly. I mean, I thought the game plan tonight for Ohio State looked like a pro game plan.
Herbie, I'll let you start as a guy grew up there and wore the uniform. What's the story of this team?
Oh, don't start with me, man. I'm a little emotional. I'm just fired up for these guys.
This program suffered a debilitating loss to the University of Michigan. They found new life, breathed into them by Nausicaa on the island of Pylos. He burned the ships and decided to make the charge home.
There's under 10 minutes left. You're down 16. The odds of you scoring 2 touchdowns and getting 2 extra point or two-point conversions to tie this game are extremely low. Kicking the field goal doesn't change that. You are still screwed for the most part, because even if you kick the field goal and you're down 13, you still need 2 touchdowns.
Who amongst us, or whomst amongst us, is to say that the Michigan loss wasn't ultimately good to fuel this outcome? I hate saying that because I think rivalries are the bedrock tradition of the sport, but that is where we are today.
Those first 2 drives, it was so Chip Kelly. Let's build up Will Howard's confidence, easy completions, get the ball to the playmaker. it was just, I mean, I watched enough Chip Kelly games, and I'm like, oh, this is a clinic.
There's no such thing as luck. It's when opportunity meets preparation. You talk about a dude who prepared his whole career. You're handpicked by Chip Kelly and Ryan Day to hear the keys to this car. This $20 million car. Don't fuck it up.
Ryan Day, the embattled Ryan Day. You lose to Michigan again. If you don't have a 12-team playoff, you may not have Ryan Day winning a national championship this year. In fact, you probably don't.
I can't believe with the game on the line, they let one guy beat him, the best guy on the field, the most talented guy on the field, Jeremiah Smith. The deep ball.
Everyone picked Ohio State to win a national championship game. Obviously, the Michigan game did not go as planned or as expected for them, but they were able to regroup, and they played like the team in the college football playoff that we thought they would be during the regular season.
It is easy to be a prisoner of the moment. He is one of the best coaches in the country. He has overcome amazing things. Let's give him the credit that he deserves. But no, I cannot say he's the best coach in the country because he was able to navigate Ohio State.
You look at the Ohio State offense when they played Michigan, all zone, all outside zone, inside zone, RPO, where now you look at Ohio State playing Notre Dame, and it was gap scheme, downhill football, and it led to Quinshon Judkins averaging 9 yards a carry.
Both teams hit a rock bottom, if you will, at one point this season. For Notre Dame, it was early. They lose that Northern Illinois game. The world is jumping on them. The world lives to jump on Notre Dame. So basically, write them off. Oh, my God. And they rebound, and they come all the way here. And then Ohio State after that Michigan game. Maybe there is something to a football team, and maybe it goes beyond sports to actually hitting rock bottom and figuring out a way
well,
to get it going.
The greatest part about expanding the bracket was teams like this can find their way back.
You know, when stuff was going down with Michigan, we didn't abandon our coach. Like many who Kirk Herbstreit was calling out did in fact do, and today I'm sure are throwing Buckeyes at his feet now.
Ryan is one of the great coaches in college football. I've said that for a long time. And I know that the narrative surrounding Ryan Day is always like, oh, he's coaching for his job. I think that's garbage.
So they got an 18-play drive to open up the game. But you kind of knew they were done then. You know why? Because your quarterback, Riley Leonard, went on the sideline and threw up.
The game last night was a blowout early, and then just like most college football games, a couple mistakes were made. The other team came climbing back in. Their fan base rose to their feet in the crowd. Holy shit.
Fan, you'd rather lose to Michigan but win a national title or beat Michigan and lose in the college football playoffs.
I think this is crazy that there are fans.
Yes.
It's so important to beat Michigan.
If he can figure out that Michigan bugaboo at the end of November, but right now he is one of the best, but by far not the best.